Okay, hello everyone. I'm here today to review the Fatfreq Scarlet Mini, as this is a very hyped up set right now and everyone has been talking about it, trying to review it, trying to get it. It's very hard really to get, and this review will include me talking about my experience with Fatfreq in general. So we're gonna talk about me ordering the set and how long it took for me to get it, and we're gonna talk about the price, how it sounds, what sources did I use with it, and also I'm gonna compare it to different sets that I feel like it's worth mentioning, and they're not necessarily in the same price range, but I feel like they would give you sort of like similar experience. So first of all, I got this, I ordered this set back in January 1st, I think, of this year. And I think it took me about 2 months to receive the set. And I wasn't happy when I received it because I had a faulty unit that I had to send it back, and I had to go, back and forth with, Fatfreq, because my set had a severe channel imbalance. And I really wasn't happy about that, because when you first experience an IEM for this, price range, and it comes faulty or develops like channel imbalance, especially for this price point, definitely not a pleasant experience. But they were nice enough to assure me that they will send a replacement right away and compensate me with gifts, which I'm gonna talk about later in this video. But now I want to talk about this IEM and how much it cost. This cost like almost $800. This is their website, and it fluctuates. Sometimes $800 with the upgraded silver cable, which I think is not worth it really. Like, it's not worth the $160. So if you could get it for $630 and then just find the cable from AliExpress, it will honestly enhance this IEM sonically. It will improve it a lot. The only reason I'm keeping this upgraded cable, because ergonomically I think is really nice. It's light, it's easy to put it in the pocket, and you don't have a lot of issues with it. So the presentation, you pretty much get this fat box, which I'm currently not using because I feel like it's just too huge. So I'm putting the IEM in this smaller box, which I also got from Fatfreq website. You see how they look nice in this smaller box. And initially when they sent me a replacement, they had sent me also a metal case that is red and engraved my name. That looks really, really nice. It really protects your IEM. It has some weight to it, and it's a really high quality, in terms of that box, the IEM originally comes in this, fat box in here, and then you get your terminations, the 3.5, 2.5, and the the balanced one, which is I'm currently using. What I'm not really happy about is the cable included really is not worth it, and they sent me this cable as a compensation of me getting the faulty unit earlier. So this cable is actually more meaty and has some weight to it, and I believe this is an unreleased cable. I'm not really sure, I haven't spoke to them. I'm not really sure if this will replace the current red cable, which is the light one in here. But if you see, the difference is really huge. This one just has some weight to it. It has this kind of snake texture, and it's just much better than this. And sonically, I feel like it elevates it much better. Like, it gets like crazy, sonically with this cable. And I wish they included this cable instead of this. So they might do that, because they told me that this is unreleased cable. So if you go to their website, you're not able to see or purchase this. So yeah, this is what you get, like $800. You get the fat box, you get the IEM with the upgraded cable. And if you don't get the upgraded cable, I think you get a black cable that I think I don't like it. I purchased that separately as well. I feel it's okay, sonically you need a better cable, that's going to transform these bad boys even further. Now, how do they sound? How do they sound? Do they actually sound, as people claim them to be? For me, I was really underwhelmed because when I first got it, and I'm talking about this set, the replacement set, it's actually good. It sounds good. It's almost natural with that sub bass boost, but it's not natural because it still has a specialist IEM with the sub bass boost. So you cannot use this as an all-rounder. It could be used as an all-rounder, but still I think it's a specialist because the mids and the clarity of this IEM is not really all of that. I feel like it's very hard for you to pick up those details, especially if you listen to things that have a lot of dynamics and a lot of instruments playing at the same time. And when the tracks get busy, I think this IEM gets lost. I think it's best used with hip hop, Latino songs, like urban Latino songs that had a lot of bass. You could do rock with it. I have no issues with rock with it until you get, maybe some people wouldn't like the female vocals in it. For me, I feel like it was fine. You could also do EDM. I think they sound fantastic. EDM, hip hop, anything with bass would definitely shine in this. But note that this is sub bass impact. There is no, what I was disappointed about is I wish that it had more mid bass slam. And looking at the graph, actually, you would see, the huge, dip from I think 80 dB, and you would think that it would really slam unlike anything that I own. And I own a lot of bassy set that I want to also compare it to. First of all, the Zenza, which I have here. This is one of my favorite IEMs in terms of doing bass. This does bass really good. And if we look at the graph in here, you will see that Scarlet has a lot of bass. You see in the red, it's just starting the 80 and starting to dip. It's nowhere near the up or the Hades, HBB Hades. So these are the sets that I want to compare today. And really looking at the graph, you would think that you will really get slammed, and I think it does slam. You would hear that sub bass rumble, especially if you feed it some power, because these bad boys require a lot of power. You need to have good source. Like with this dongle, for example, this could drive it to an okay level where you on the go. A phone could drive it where it's fine on the go, but if you really want them to shine, you need to drive them with high level source. Like for me, I use the High BR8 version 2 on high gain, and I think they sound amazing. I think it's plenty of power for you to drive those. Even in medium gain, I think it's fine, and you have the turbo as well. It also sounds good with the High BR6 version 2. I think it sounds amazing. But surprisingly, those small, shells that require a lot of power to drive, it's not an easy IEM to drive by any means. But comparing it to the Zenza, I feel like the Zenza is just a better all-rounder because it does bass better in my opinion, cleaner bass. The mid bass slam is much better than than the Scarlet. And let me take this label off. Yeah, you see the difference. Like you would think that the Scarlet would hit really hard, in the red in here, where the up is just huge difference. But honestly, like listening to both set and owning this for a long time, the up is just slams harder. Like the impact on that mid bass is just crazy, and I do like both of them, and both of them I feel like you have like there's a time where I feel like I want to listen to the up, but the up is more of a safer choice where it's more balanced. You could, you know, listen to most like vocals with it. You could listen to acoustics, to hip hop, EDM, rock, to anything, and really you would not be, you know, compromising in a lot of things. And yes, I do feel like sometimes the triple is dark, but that's for another video. But right now I feel like this is $700. You could get it in AliExpress or Linsol for $550 now. I think there's always sales on this set. And the other set, which I got recently, I think the HBB Hades, which is it blue in this graph. Those bad boys are just amazing. You know, I upgraded the cable and I have them on this, you know, balanced cable, and these bad boys do scale up and they're amazing. You know, for $42, you know, you can't go wrong with this. And yes, the mids are not all great, and you need to crank these bad boys up to really get the most out of them. And I feel like everything is in the background. You're only getting like some impactful bass and, like, you know, mid bass. I think this is the most impactful out of the three sets, because this really could be cranked up and you could still hear the, like, feel that, like, the bass in your chest. It's just ridiculous how strong this is, but it doesn't really keep up with the up or the Scarlet, because they have just better mids and better vocals and overall better dynamics. You know, I feel like it's a better dynamics, better overall feel. You know, it's very safe to take either of those. I would say up is my number one, and then, you know, Scarlet is number two, and then the Hades is number three. I do own another sets. I have the Radon 6, which I got also recently, but that's just in a different league because it's just $3,000. You know, it doesn't make any sense to compare it to these sets. I also have the Mest, which I think is a bit different. You know, does bass, you know, really good, but it's just a bit different than these sets. So these are like most relatable sets when it comes to bass, and I feel like the up, nobody really talking about the up now, and I feel like it deserves more shine because this is an amazing set. And obviously it doesn't come with this cable. This is a cable I got from AliExpress, which really elevated sonically and improves also the Scarlet sonically. So I had to order two. And yeah, I love this set because it does everything right. It's an exciting listen. It's not fatiguing. The bass rumble is amazing. It feels good. It shells a little bit, you know, in a bigger side. I don't feel like I could do, you know, 5-6 hours on these. I think 2 hours, 3 hours is fine. However, like the Scarlet has really small shells. If you see in here, it's really tiny. It's very comfortable. You could sleep in, like, when they are in your ears. So it's a fantastic IEM. It's very tiny, and that's the most thing that I like about this. So I would use this every day just because how comfortable and tiny these shells are. You know, they're so tiny, and also this cable make it so ergonomic. You know, you don't have to worry about. You could just put them in your pocket and it's going to be fine. You know. So what I wish, you know, the Scarlet was. And I would just wish that it had, you know, more mid bass and more impact, you know, because, you know, listening to it, the mids are not the best. So they're already affected by all that sub bass elevation. And I feel like it's really hard to pick up some details sometimes. So at this level, I just wish they've given me more mid bass impact so I could enjoy those, you know, bassy songs even more to a next level. But who knows, like, I don't know, I haven't spoke to Fatfreq, but if they maybe added more mid bass, they would have ruined the whole frequency response. I'm not really sure, but as is, I think it's fine. If you have the money and you want to get, like, you know, a bassy set that is, you know, comfortable to wear, and not easy to drive for sure. You know, it will sound okay from a dongle. I think you need a very strong amplification to drive this. Unlike, you know, the up could be driven like fully from a dongle like Crystal in 15 or channeling UI5. Yes, it will even sound even better, and the soundstage will get a little bit wide with, you know, expensive sources, but from a dongle I feel like it's fine. And yeah, so my message to Fatfreq, I mean, in the future, if you're making, let's say, the Scarlet SC, you know, please add in more mid bass. I think a lot of people would want more mid bass, and include a better cable with this IEM. I feel like this for $800 and having people to pay $160 for this cable, I think this cable is not worth it, and definitely holds it back. Yeah, sonically the other cables is just elevated much better than this cable. As I said, I'm only using this cable because it's ergonomic, it's light, and I feel like that's what it has over the other cables. In terms of sound is not the best, and I do think, you know, cables do matter. They do change and shape the sound a little bit. So yeah, all in all, it's an amazing set. Definitely don't blind buy it, because you may regret it. You may need, you know, more impact. It's not easy to drive, you know. Yes, it sounds good. It's almost unnatural with a sub bass boost, but in my opinion, it's still a specialist. And for this price range, you know, $800, you could, you know, let's go to the website. You could, you know, get the up. The up would be a better contender because it's just have crazy impact. Treble is still fine, you know, vocals fantastic. It's a warm set, you know, it's like it just has this impact, man. I love this set. It's just a fantastic set. And yeah, I mean, if I would choose one of them, I would go with the up, and then the Scarlet, and then, you know, the Hades. But then again, each one of these sets has, you know, their unique characteristics. Character. So the up has everything good, like treble is good, vocals fantastic. Scarlet is just lacks, in my opinion, in the other areas. The only thing that is amazing, I think, treble is fine, but you know, the sub bass quality and quantity is just beautiful. You know, the rumble that you get when you listen to bassy songs, man, it's beautiful. So yeah, this is the end of the review. Let me know what you guys want to see next. I may do a review of this up, even though not a lot of people, you know, really talking about this set anymore. It's a legendary set. Or I may review the Hades or the RN6, which I got. So let me know. And yeah, thank you for watching.